Hello, and welcome to A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica, and this show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business and sidestep all of the crazy things that I seem to step on. It is a wonderful Tuesday. You know, it's funny. Yesterday, I was out of it, as some of you pointed out, and I didn't even know what day it was. So I'm excited that it's Tuesday. It's getting closer to Christmas, so I'm super thrilled. And today's topic comes from a question in the VO Journey Facebook group on how to build a steady income in voiceover. So I'm excited about this topic because I think that we as voice actors, but actors in general, have had this, I don't know, this kind of like trail of stigma behind us about how to actually get business and, you know, how to get steady business. And as an actor, one of the first things you find out pretty quickly is that you don't actually get you don't actually get steady business. Your business is to audition, right? Audition, and that becomes your job. Whereas the acting, that becomes what feeds your ability to audition. And it is like a cycle, because why our industry and the acting industry is, or the entertainment industry is tough anyways, is because, you know, once we do a job, it's over with, right? So in order to keep going, we've got to continuously get new jobs. Well, that's hard, as we know, because it's very time consuming and it's difficult to do anything else but audition constantly. So I want to talk to you today about how we can build a steady income and actually make it work for us so that we are not auditioning all the time. I don't have a problem with auditioning. And there's always going to be auditioning, because there's always going to be, people, vying for the same work. But there is a new way. There is another way to build a steady income. And I want to kind of push this onto you here. You know, it is basically starting to understand that we want to leverage other people's time and other people's money. Now remember, we are business owners, first and foremost. This is one of the challenges that hounds the acting community, because actors focus so much on their craft that they really neglect to focus their efforts on being business owners. So what happens is, a lot of times actors are taken advantage of. Actors live a life of constantly, going from one thing to another, and they can never catch up. They're only as good as their latest job. And that's not the life that we would like to live, or at least that I would like to live. And that's why so many famous people die poor, because they're amazing, they're talented, but they really suck at being business owners. So, building a steady stream of income for you as a business owner should be what your focus is on. Now, I'm going to present to you some things, but before we go any further, I want to just point out really quickly something that I am just over the top about, and I know I'm stopping right in the middle of this, but because I got off on a tangent, but I want to talk to everybody real quick about the Fiverr Elite group. We meet every Saturday. There's a link. I'm going to push the link right here. You can go check that out. And I think you're going to absolutely love the group. For some reason, I am not streaming on somewhere. I don't know where it is, because it was saying there's an issue with the page. So we'll see what happens with that. But one of the places, but I am on YouTube, and I am on Facebook, I am on Instagram. So that's all good. So I don't know where. Must be somewhere on Facebook that's not working out. Anyways, it wouldn't let me post the link, so I'll just post it here in the descriptions, or you can go to the website, www.aviosjourney.com. It's an amazing group. All we do is help grow each other's Fiverr businesses to the next level. And I want to give a shout out because we had one of the people in our groups, Angela. She has reached the top rated seller status. So I'm very proud of her. And I'm super excited about helping everybody else grow their business as well. All right. So getting back into building the steady stream of income, I want you to start to think, how can you do things for your business that will continue to work for you when you are not doing them? See, so that's why auditioning doesn't fit into this model. Now, remember, again, you're going to always audition, even with this model I'm telling you. It's a part of what we do. But I'm talking about actually decreasing the amount of auditioning you're doing and starting to leverage other people's time and other people's money, or in this case, other businesses' money and time. All right. And this is, I've got a couple of things here I want to throw out to you. And this takes some work, but when you get it going, all right, you'll notice that what it does is it starts to change your focus on you getting work specifically by audition after audition, to you focusing on building a system of different campaigns, marketing campaigns, that you focus on those campaigns as opposed to your auditioning. And then what they should do is they either will bring you work, or they will bring you an audition to where you are narrowed down for a more of a private audition as opposed to a cattle call audition. Cattle call auditions are things that was coined as a term where, in a cattle call, you have these just, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cattle, and they go into this one place and they're basically auctioned off one after another and all these things. So same with actors. The cattle call is where, you audition one actor after another, after another, after another. There's hundreds and thousands of actors, and they're called cattle calls. And it's tough, grueling work because you could be somewhere all day just to get your opportunity to audition, and then nothing happens. So, that's where that term comes from. And for us, cattle calls kind of become, for voice actors, Invoices.com, Voice123, places that send out auditions to a mass amount of people. And then it's, whoever is seen first kind of thing and all that stuff. So that's what basic cattle call and stuff means in this particular situation. So for that matter, the first thing I want to mention to you and that I want you to do is you need to take some decent amount of time to pick between 15 to 20 different sites online. Sites like Fiverr, sites like, Upwork, sites like it can be Voice123 now because they are doing casting efforts. We are looking for sites that will market you and your profile and the samples that you create and bring you business. That's what we are looking for. Okay, so these are the types of sites we want. We don't want to be focusing on sites where you have to do nothing but audition. Again, I don't want to discredit auditioning because it's important, but we are looking at building a steady stream of income. All right, which means you have to generate a steady stream of work. And in order to do that, you have got to be doing multiple things at once, well beyond what any one of us can do by ourselves, right? So because of that, we want to start targeting sites, online casting agencies. I call them online agencies, right? They're the new agencies of our day and our day and age. And we want to leverage their marketing efforts, their money, and their time. And we do that by signing up for their sites, filling out our profiles completely, adding samples, as many as we can, putting our demo on there if they're needed, having a top quality picture, all right, and fill out at least 15 to 20 sites. There's way more than that. There's hundreds out there. But you got to do your research and find some of the best ones. I mentioned some of them here, other sites like Voquent and People Per Hour and Voiver. And there's a lot of great UK sites as well that are really kicking butt and doing well, and it's not a bad idea to get on those sites either. Okay, so, push yourself to get on 15 or 20 of these online agency sites like Fiverr and everything. I've mentioned a bunch so far, but you're focused on the ones that are casting, meaning that they are promoting you and someone can come and find you and book you. Book to work with you without you having to spend hours upon hours upon hours doing cattle call auditions. All right? Does that make sense? So that's going to take you plenty of time. And it's going to go, you're going to learn a great deal because you're going to have to figure out your rate cards, because some sites require you to actually put in your rate card, like Voice123 or Voiver. These sites like that. People per hour is actually kind of similar to Fiverr, where you can offer your own gig. Okay, but they also have something where it's like Upwork, where you can also you can send offers, but they also allow you to purchase ad time on their site, meaning like on Amazon, you can actually purchase now where you want your products to end up in the rankings, and people per hour is the same way. Fiverr does learn courses, etc. So anyways, that is the main thing that I recommend. That is the main thing that I recommend. And here's the key though. The key is that you must fill out everything to the very best of your ability. You must add the very best samples that you have. You must vary them. You must make sure you have a great range of work to offer. Okay? You've got to have a great range of work to offer. This is important. I am hired a lot because of the wide range of work. And you might be in a situation where you're like, well, Anthony, that's cool. You've been acting for a long time, your whole life. I don't do that. Well, that's a part of this business, is for you to do it. And I don't mean to sound mean, but that's it. You've got to get better at all of the different genres. Sure, can you dive into one and just focus on that? Yeah, but you are certainly limiting yourself. You are certainly limiting yourself. Now, does that mean that someone's not going to pop up and be like, well, Anthony, that's dumb because I've done this and I make tons more money than you? And that's fine. Great. But for every one person that does that, there's 100 people who cannot do that. That we have to rely on multiple skills and multiple talents and on multiple efforts in order to make up that income. Right? So it's important for you to really dive in and start to widen your offerings, right? You might have a commercial demo. Do you have an e-learning demo? Do you have an audiobook demo? Do you have a character demo? Do you have a narration demo? Do you have like a corporate demo? Do you have all these different types of offerings or samples? What are the different tones that you offer? It's important to put all of those on all of these sites. Okay, next, let's move on. I want to dive into email and an email campaign, but I want to preface it with this. Sending out emails, all right, still works well. It still works, and you're still going to be able to get business. But a long time ago, when you sent out an email, all you really needed to send out was like one. Now, the name of the game is being able to send out 4, 5, or 6 emails. All right, and to keep you on the person's mind. But here's the thing. If you've tried to do an email campaign, you know that emails take a lot of time. You've got to vet the business. You've got to send it. You've got to follow up with them, right? Because I just said, like Anthony, you just said send 5 or 6 emails. That is totally true. So in order for you to get all of that down, you've got to build a repeatable system that will continue to work, right? So that continues to get leads, that continues to set up those leads and has an email that is sent out, not only an email that is sent out, but follow-up emails, a way to determine if it was opened, should it be followed up, what it's to be followed up, and if you are responded to, you need to figure out a way to vet that response, meaning like, is that response a positive response or a negative response? Like, is the response, hey, thanks for emailing us, we don't need anybody right now, but we'll keep you in mind? Or is the response, hey, jerk face, F off? Because we've gotten those emails back too, right? Why are you emailing me? Beep, beep, beep. Okay, so you have to vet that. Then once that is done, the last thing is, what do you then do with that information? Where do you send them? How do you get them your info? All of that is a system, is a series of systems that you have to create. There is software out there that does things. There's like, you have things like MailChimp, but you also have things like Mailshake and these different sites or these different products that you can purchase that will actually take care of the majority of that. But there needs to be that system in place. Where do you get the leads from? Okay, you got to buy them. Now this falls into your marketing dollars. But I want to point something out here. All of this work that you're doing, everything you're figuring out in order to build a steady stream of income is you working on your business and not auditioning. Again, and I feel bad because I know there's some people on here because I know these people that are watching. Some of them live and die by auditioning, and there's nothing wrong with it. I love you. But for me personally, right? For me personally, I try to take a different tact. And that is, I want business to come to me. And it gives me, for me, it feels like it gives me freedom. I still audition, but I audition more when I want to. So the email campaign is great, but you need to be able to put it on autopilot. That should be your challenge, your task. How can I create an email campaign that continues to run when I am not running it? That's your challenge. That's what you should do, because that will build you a steady stream of income. And then what happens with emails, even like long-term auditioning too, if you've been in this business a while, you know that you might audition today, but you might not hear something for a month and a half, or you might send an email today and not hear anything for a year. And then all of a sudden you pop up and they're like, hey, remember you emailed us last year. Guess what? We need you. Right? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, email works. It works. But then you send out another 100 emails, nothing happens, and you forgot that it took a year for that person to get back to you. But if you look at the way staggered works, right? If you continue to do it day after day after day after day after day after day, then all of that will add up and it will become an avalanche and you'll have more work than you can handle. But the consistency is key, right? Consistency is key. Okay, next thing. A repeatable social media campaign. Oh my goodness, this is so important. I have spent time, as you all know, watching me and following me, I have spent time really working hard on how I can build a repeatable social media campaign that just runs and keeps going. Cool thing about putting out videos or podcasts or anything where it's recorded is that you can use these, and you know me, I call them investments or digital assets. You can use them over and over again. But again, I'm going to say it's the same thing I went back into the email campaign. You need to build a repeatable campaign. You need to figure out how can you get posts that go out on a regular basis, on a daily basis. How do you find that content? How do you get it created? Who creates it? Who curates it? Who puts it up there? Who responds to comments? How long do you do that? All right. By the way, when that happens, where are you sending people? Because what happens is that simple social media is simple when it comes to how that works for us getting business, meaning that you make content, you put it out there. People enjoy your content, you interact with them, they want to find out more about you, so they go to your profile, and hopefully you have a nice tidy little link in your profile. They click on the link, they go to your site. And they check out your site, and hopefully on your site you have some reason for them to want to interact with you more on your site or wherever you send them. Whether you send them to Fiverr, whether you send them to voices.com, whether you send them to a profile somewhere, a landing page, wherever you send them, that's how social media works for us as business owners. It's not complicated. What's complicated is building a repeatable process that we can understand, handle with our time, be able to manage it. So that is your job. Your next job is to build a repeatable social media campaign that will work without you. Now, what I mean by that is, can you create, like, for example, maybe you spend a day and you create your content and then you put that into your machine and your machine then spreads it out through the rest of the week. There's sites like Hootsuite, TweetDeck, all right, different places that do all this stuff. And these aren't bots. These are sites that allow you to schedule different. I love Hootsuite. I personally love Hootsuite. I think it's great. It allows you to schedule. It has a planner. You can schedule as many posts as you want. It also has analytics. You have to pay for that, but it does have a free setting on Hootsuite. And basically you get 3 social media accounts for the free one, and then you can pay for some more things to do. But that is a great thing for you as a business owner to work on. Hopefully you're picking up on this whole business owner thing, right? We're building a business doing voiceovers, not doing voiceovers and then, dealing with the business crap over here. Okay. You're building a business. Okay. So, those three things, your 15 to 20 casting websites, your repeatable email campaign, and your repeatable social media campaign. If you build out those things, and by the way, that's going to take you a while. It's going to take you a while. It's going to take you time. And also, by the way, in the meantime, you're going to be doing work. You're going to be putting out fires. You're going to be figuring out, even more about your DAW, especially if you're just starting out, gear, yada, yada, all that stuff. But what's interesting is right, we all stepstones in our career, right? Because at one point, we're all focused on our gear because, oh my God, the gear, we got to figure it out. But once you get the gear and you figure it out, your gear becomes like, it's nice, like a shiny object, but you do get to a place where your gear is your gear and it's good and you don't need to do anything with your gear anymore. Like the gear is over with, you need to get work, right? So there comes that point, and building these processes is what helps you get work. Now, I do want to talk about real quick, like the voice realm, or if you are getting and generating great business from auditioning, that's great. Don't stop. I don't want you to stop your income. Okay. But I'm just trying to give you another option about how to bring business. 90% to 95% of my business is brought to me. Yes, the majority is brought to me at this point from Fiverr, but as I have expanded and doing more work, I'm getting booked on all kinds of different places. And from all the social media work I do, I'm getting more work through my website. Just got another job today through my website from people seeing my social media content, even though I post all my content is based on helping voice actors. I have put myself in a position where the people can find me. Right. And then they can find they can go to my website, find out information about me. The other day on Twitter, perfect example, I was trying to help. I was on Twitter and someone was posted that they were looking for a Nui accent. I didn't know what it meant. And I was like, what does that mean? And they're like, oh, from New Zealand. I was like, oh, a newsy accent. I was like, I didn't know what that was. So I was like, hey, what's a newsy accent? And she said, oh, from New Zealand. And I said, oh, I know somebody. So I messaged that person and come to find out, he's not from New Zealand, and said that was a unique thing. Anyways, she asked me, well, hey, what do you, how much do you charge? And because she said, I went to your website, went to your website from your profile. I loved your voiceover work and I want to work with you. How much do you charge? And I said, she said, that's awesome. All right. And we'll be contacting you right after the holiday season when our offices open back up. And I mean, literally, that was just me offering to help someone I saw because I was interested in what it meant on Twitter. This is the kind of stuff that happens. Now, that wasn't necessarily part of my repeatable system. That was just me on social media, looking around at what was happening. But it was a part of me checking my daily routine for my social. So I hope that this has helped you today with understanding the importance of building your business. Okay, and having work come to you. That's how you build a repeatable income for voiceover, is having repeatable work sent to you while you are focusing on building these systems that continue to generate that work. Does that make sense? All right. If you have any questions, I was like, bam, bam, bam today. I'm talking too fast. But if you have any questions, go ahead and ask now. Please go ahead and post it in the group. I would love to answer. If you have anything on Instagram, let's see. We've got Storm. What's up, Storm? On YouTube. Zach, hello. Switch Gaming. Judy on Facebook. Paul on Facebook. We've got Ben on Facebook. Big Jim. Greg. We got Rich. Let's see. The Reality of Voice Acting with Richard Hawks. I like that, Rich. Let's see. The Voiceover Outlaw. The Reality of Voice. Rich. Okay, so let's see if anybody, as a fellow actor, this is Ben. Oh, Paul said hello and thanks for the the timing on what you shared yesterday. Thanks, Paul. Ben said, as a fellow actor, being a working actor means acting happy while working any job to keep auditioning. Right, exactly. Judy, great group. Big Jim. And Judy's talking about the Fiverr Elite group. Thank you, Judy. I talked about that in the beginning. It's a group that we meet every Saturday to grow our Fiverr businesses. As you can tell, I'm really excited about the group because we had our meeting. We had one of our first meetings last week, and we had 20-some people there. It was wonderful, really great. And I'm excited about this weekend checking out and see what people have come up with based on what we talked about. Let's see. Rich says, get it done. Happy Tuesday. What up, Anthony? But what if I just love auditioning? Well, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. Keep auditioning. But just remember that you are building a business as well. And you need to build the business. Okay? And as business owners, our job is to do more than just the daily grind. Our job is also to strategically think and grow our business for the future. Because if we do not do that, one day something will dry up. And if you have not planned for it, if you have not taken care of, your house as it will, okay, it will fall apart. Please, by all means, audition. I love auditioning too. You get to lots of different things, but for me, it becomes a time issue. That's just me. So hopefully that answered. Let's see. Afternoon, everybody. Rich, up to 23 sites as off. Awesome. Paul Orr, hired off your website. Hired off your website. I don't know what that means. You're hiring off my website, Paul? You're using my site to get work? I don't know what that means. But let's see. Paul Orr, top 5 sites like Fiverr. Yeah. Okay, I got you. Okay. I understand what you mean. John, Anthony, every session provides me with fresh ideas and motivation. Thanks. You bet, John. Denzel, former student of mine. What's up, man? Sounds awesome. Big Jim, don't forget to throw in those royalty shares, 7 years of income plus practice. Absolutely. So that's how I started my business. I actually love royalty share using the system I created so that you pick books that actually will pay you. But I love them because I still make money every single month from royalty share, and I do jack squat. That's my word, jack squat. Right? I do jack squat, and I still get paid because I'm growing a business. I'm going to say it over and over again. You're growing a business, and part of what we offer is voiceover work. But the business is where the money is where your bread and butter should be, where your mind should be focused on, is building the entity. Like me building a VO's Journey and Anthony Pica Productions, LLC. That's what I'm building. I'm building a business that has multiple streams of income to grow the business. And what I love to do is voice act. Okay. And then I grow my business first and foremost. Curse Leisure. How do you get existing customers to agree to pricing increases as you move up the ranks? Well, there's many different types of strategies. I personally live and die by this one. When I am so busy that I can't move a muscle without working, I raise my prices. I raise them a little bit at a time, very small increments. But that adage, you don't add an extra show until you have all the other ones sold out in the theater. Same thing applies for me and what I do. I don't raise my prices until I am so busy that I have no choice to raise them because I am taking on work that is costing me money because it is too low. Or the other way you can also do it, or do it both ways, is seek out your biggest repeat customers, let them know, send them a nice message and say, hey, this is what's going on. I'm thinking about raising my prices to this amount because of the time, and I want to make sure that I can offer you and everybody, my top-notch customers, the very best that I have to offer. But because of all of this happening, I need to raise my prices some, and I just wanted to see how that works out and if it was something possible that you could handle. Right? That's a very wonderful thing to do, and you'll get some great feedback. Most of the time, they'll probably say no problem. Sometimes they might say, well, that's all I got. My budget though. So that is a great tool. And then you could make a deal with them because they are wonderful repeat customers. Perfect example. I have, me, I like to be transparent. I have about 806 or so buyers that have worked with me from Fiverr, but I've done over 1,500 voiceovers, which means that almost double, right? Almost like double of my work has come from double of my work. Almost twice of my, like half of my work, yes, is repeat work. So almost 50% of my work is repeat work. That's amazing. By the way, I'm going to be talking about that, showing you how to dive into that and how that works this weekend in the Fiverr group. All right, I got a few more things. I got a meeting at 1:30, but tough. You all are more important. Do you promote your royalty share ACX book somewhere? No, but if I did, I'd probably sell a heck of a lot more. That is the truth, which is another thing that you can create. Christopher Marsh, what's your opinion on one of your Fiverr gigs being recording a single well-famous character impression? For example, my Eric Cartman is pretty good and would be a unique gig offering. Absolutely. There's all sorts of things. My suggestion is you join the Fiverr group. Join the Fiverr Elite group. We talk about that. Last week we went over about almost just that exact thing, about being able to use Fiverr to its fullest. So my suggestion would be check out that group. We dive into things like that you're asking right there. Mark, let's see. Mark says, hey, Anthony, this might be a bit off topic, but as a beginner in VO, should I start by getting coaching first or just jump in and start auditioning? Both. You should do both. I actually look, and I know I've been saying this Fiverr Elite group thing, but it's only $47 a month. It's actually a pretty good deal. And now what I'm doing is I do a lot of private coaching as well. But you know what? When you're first starting out, private coaching is expensive. It's worth it. It is worth it. But you might not be able to afford to spend all of that money a month for coaching just yet. All right. But there's other things that you can do. There's group coaching and things that work out well. I would tell you, you want to do as much as possible. So yes, coaching and auditioning, do both. If you can only do one, by all means, audition. If that's all you can do, audition or do what I talked about in this video. Start finding out, start learning about how to do these things, getting yourself on sites. Actually, that's what I would recommend. Well, the very first thing you have to do is you have to have a demo. You've got to have samples of your work. You got to have a treated space, right? You got to have all that stuff before you can, really put out quality work. When I first started in voiceover, I had semi-treated space with my hobo fort, and I had a USB mic. So the place that I started was on ACX because I found that I could do work and it could be quality, but it didn't have to be as like soundproof and everything as commercial work has to be. Okay. So that was something that I started off on, and it worked out very well. I got work, and it helped me build my business and gave me confidence. Confidence was important when I first started, because if I just never got any work, then I don't know if I, would have kept going, because that's hard. So those wins that I got in the beginning was very helpful to me. All right. John says, I recommend authoritative voiceover course. Oh yeah. And I have courses online courses that you could just purchase on avosjourney.com. And those are nice. And the authoritative tone course is one of my new courses that I put out. That's a really good one, and it's inexpensive. So that helps out. Anyways, I got to hit the road, you guys. Thank you so much today. Remember, build your business to build a steady stream of income, okay? That is key to what you are doing for your business. And then your voice acting, that's the fun part. Now that I think building a business is fun too. But building your business, and then the result is you getting to do voice acting, okay? And you get that steady stream of work sent to you. And then if you love to audition, Keep auditioning, but build the business so that it grows. It doesn't just live and die with you auditioning. Because what if one day or 2 days or 3 days you can't audition? Okay? Then your business dies. But if you build these systems, it could continue to go on without you in case you have an issue or you want to take a vacation, etc. Okay? All right, you guys, you have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Check out that Fiverr Elite group. Talk to you later. Goodbye. Goodbye.